attention, son.
Finally, Amy. There we go.
There
Okay.
we go. Sorry about that.
Bit of a slow start here.
I was late to the party.
Just take it away from him. Under 4 left. The barn is alive again.
Yeah, it's a sports show. Got me in my hormones, all gas, no brakes, score 4-0. If you think you own this place, you get foreclosed. I've been in my head, but it's not about a T3.
What?
I learned to learn, but there's nothing you
Stop.
can teach me.
What is
Maybe
that?
I got opinions.
I was late to the party.
I can't. Don't do
I
it.
think that was-
You're not an accent guy.
What? How dare you?
If you wish that you could be from another country,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why you'd want to be from somewhere else. I mean, Canada and Greece, we pretty much
we
like
hit the lottery, bro.
1 and 2, 2 and 1, however
Exactly.
you do it. But where would you be? Like, what accent would you want? Would you want that English? Because I'm
English
assuming
is-
that's English.
Yeah, it was. I don't know how you would have thought it was anything else. English one's good. I think Italian too. I don't know why. I think I'd be good at Italian. Hey, how you doing?
Italian from Italy or New York
No,
Italian?
New York Italian.
Yeah,
There's only one guy.
Is there any other kind?
Oh!
Hey, how you doing? You're listening to the Sports Show. The podcast.
Hey, how you doing?
Sports Show TV. That's on the YouTube.
Hey.
And hey, what else we got going on? Spotify, Podbeans, iTunes.
iTunes.
Forget about it.
Hey, I think that was your best intro ever, if you ask me. I think we should do a whole pod like that one time.
Just-
I think we joked about it one time.
I think we did. You know what? We'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll do it when we get really big
Yeah.
by our followers telling their friends to like, follow, and subscribe to the channels.
do it.
Ding. But when we get really big and the YouTube thing is really, really popular, then
Yeah.
we can get real comedic.
That's true.
Because the problem now is
Right.
if we do something funny like that,
Mhm.
it'll be funny. Like, it'll be great
Hilarious.
for the roster.
Right.
Fantastic.
Uh-huh.
However,
What?
it's got to get more. At that point, we got to get viral.
Right.
After all,
Yeah.
we're professionals.
Yeah. That's true.
You know.
We're very professional, if you haven't noticed. In fact, actually, you know what? I know we are. Can I tell the people why?
Talk to me.
2 seconds ago, when you just turned on the equipment,
Yeah.
somebody had left their podcast on, and we were listening to it for
Oh
a
my!
snippet.
You guys.
There's a difference between episode 252 and one where I think it might have been his first one ever. You know what I mean? Because there is a little something to this. You can't just walk right in. I mean, there is a little bit of movement to this thing.
I'm not saying this just to,
Yeah.
pat me and Mitch on the back. Although, I'm never afraid to
We're
do
not.
that.
Yeah.
But this isn't one of those cases. Roster,
Right.
honey sugar babies, you have no idea
Oh.
how lucky you are. The product that we put on.
That's right.
Because if you listened to what we just heard as a recording, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you.
I agree with you. 100%. It was not.
You'd
good.
rather move into your in-laws' house.
Probably.
Like,
It was pretty bad.
I'd rather hear it from my mother-in-law or my
Yeah.
father-in-law. I'd rather hear it
Right.
than that.
Than that. I agree.
That's not good.
Not good. Not good at all. So, real quick, episode 252. Let's get started here.
Sure.
I was perusing the nets the other day. And you know me, like, here's the thing. I find marketing fascinating, okay? Because it's all about, like, quick hits. Like, what's going to catch your attention? And in this world where there's so many videos out there and there's so much good publicity, and then there's really bad stuff, too. It just, you get drawn right into it, right? Like a tractor beam. Well, here I am perusing the nets, and what happens? All of a sudden, I see that tourism in Saskatchewan is fluctuating. It's big. It's huge. And I'm like, well, why? Then I read this article how people in Regina are a little upset. And the reason they're upset is the new slogan of Regina is experience Regina. And they don't like it. And I said to myself, I was reading it, and I'm like, I love it. I love Regina.
Who doesn't want to experience a good Regina?
Exactly. Regina, I mean, I've been there. Yeah, it's a little crowded once in a blue moon. It's clean. It's good. But I think experience Regina is like one of the best marketing, slogans of all time.
Okay.
Yeah.
It one of the best? Maybe the best.
Maybe the best.
Because it's tour. Actually, I don't even know what it's for Alberta, but let's say it would be like tour Alberta,
Right.
climb British Columbia,
Exactly.
experience Regina. But you know what I love about the Regina?
What do you love?
The thing that I love about the Regina is that there's not a lot of trees. It's a lot of grassland. But
bare
it's a
land,
lot bare trimmed land.
Yeah.
It's a good Regina.
You can see it all the way up and down. It's, what's that saying? Like, my dog can run away. I can still see it running away.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
But it's a beautiful Regina.
Yes. And out of, I don't know how many, I haven't been to many Reginas. I'll be honest with you.
There's really only one Regina.
But the one that I have been to, it's not, my wife's originally from there.
Really?
Actually.
Funny you say that. I've been to Regina like 2 or 3 times.
Really?
Yeah, not a lot lately, but 2 to 3 times in my life I've been to Regina.
Interesting, Mitch. Very, very interesting.
Like I have friends that live in Regina.
I don't like to get face deep in the politics of Regina,
Right.
But at the same time, I certainly like to frequent there.
Well, who doesn't? I mean, what I'm thinking of, like, I always tell, my wife, I'm like, honey, you know what? We should go to Regina more. And she says, really? I said, yeah. And she's like, okay, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And so we end up going. And then sometimes the kids come. So that's why, like, ever since we've had kids, we don't go to Regina as much.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, well, you know what? For us, when we're not feeling going to Regina, we just go right to the Moose Jaw.
Ah, right. The Jaw.
The Jaw, which is right in Saskatchewan.
The Jaw's a good place.
Well, they used to, they say that they used to, so they say they used to, Al Capone used to bootleg alcohol up and down the Moose Jaw.
I've heard this, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it a lot.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
even, you go Wikipedia, everything. Well, I brought that up to someone who was from Saskatchewan.
Right.
And they said it's BS.
What?
They said that they made it up.
I've heard this story too, actually.
Yeah, where it's like, no, that actually never happened. That was just something to make it
Yeah, I don't know who to
popular.
believe now.
I don't know. I don't know.
But I believe that experience in Regina is a great experience.
I think it's a good slogan. I think it's a great experience.
Right.
I think very inviting, very, inviting people, good people.
Great people.
So yeah, I would, sometimes I find myself in and out of Regina more times than I think in a calendar year.
You just took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, go in and out of Regina is it's a good thing, right? Like you don't want to stay too long in Regina, right?
When you find a good Regina, I mean, because they're not all the same.
No, I mean it is different every time you go.
It really is.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I don't know what the people.
I like
are,
the slogan.
I think the slogan's great. Yeah, good luck to you guys. We'll talk about this later, maybe.
Experience Regina.
Hey, you know what? Segue. A lot of hockey players are from and visit and frequent the Regina. Yeah.
Well, the Rough Riders.
The Rough Riders, right in Regina.
Right there.
Yeah. Not Saskatoon. They're experiencing Regina.
That's right. The thing.
Off to the NHL we go. It's NHL Dump and Chase. Dimitri, right before we get to the power play list and all that stuff, the surveys came out. Remember last year, they surveyed the NHL players, so you get the actual reaction to certain things.
I love that.
I love it too. Love it too.
It's like the Family Feud of NHL.
It's
survey says.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to go through a couple of those. We'll go to the power play list and we'll talk about some of the things. Because we are about 10 games away from the start of the first round of the playoffs, my most favorite time of the year. Yes. And, I mean, to be honest, we'll get into the playoff matchups. I mean, this time next week, we should know who's in and who's out.
Yeah, it's really coming down to there's just a couple wild card.
Yeah.
In both East and West,
That's
actually.
Right.
It's really coming down to the last spot.
The only two teams that actually have booked their ticket 100%, which I find a little weird, is Boston and Carolina. But all the other teams have been there, like the Las Vegas. They've been there the whole time.
That's
the
it.
LA Kings, they're there. They're not going anywhere. Yes, you're absolutely right. It's the wild cards that are kind of holding out everything up, and they are getting tight, and we'll get to that in a quick second. All right, annual survey time. Here we go.
Okay.
You need one goalie to win you the game. Who do you think the number one goalie was that the NHL players all voted as having between the pipes?
Yeah, you know what? This is, by the way, this is really good you're asking me because
Sure.
I actually don't know who they picked.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'm going to guess that they went with Vasilevsky.
They did. 52.3% of the survey says it's Andrei Vasilevsky, and I think that is the normal choice. And here's the other thing. Right now, Tampa Bay is holding down that third spot in the Atlantic Division. They're not going anywhere.
No.
It's going to be Toronto. It's going to be Tampa Bay. And, man, I'm telling you, just seeing this survey, I already knew that. Hellebuck, by the way, is number 2, and Sorokin from the Islanders at number 3.
Oh, okay.
Toronto, I'm a little nervous. I know everyone's not nervous because of all the trades that have been made and everything. I'd be nervous if I'm Toronto still. Like, Tampa Bay's got their number a little bit.
And Tampa Bay's still a great team. Yeah, I mean, but no, they're I'm okay with them this year. But then again, I'm to a fault. I've been saying that the last 2 years, hopeful. But anyways,
we'll go. At number 2, the second question is, it's a must-win game. Which player is most wanted on the ice? I think what's more surprising, I think we all know the answer to this, but wait until you hear the percentage, which I found to be a little surprising.
Which player do you want on the ice to win the game? I'm assuming they went Connor McDavid.
They went Connor McDavid, but only at 60%. 60% of the NHL players think that Connor McDavid's the guy to go to. My question is, that seems low. Like, who the heck? Like, at number 2, they have Crosby.
I was going to say, they must
McKinnon, Kucherov, Bergeron, and Matthews. Again, I go back to the Matthews. Really? Matthews is in this list? That's who, like, he's getting a percentage over, because he's taking away from McDavid, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even see how that's a thing. He must have voted for himself.
You got to vote for yourself.
You got to vote for yourself.
You got to vote for yourself.
Exactly.
60's not. It's not too low. That's it. No, you know what it is, Mitch. It's your team. It's over half the league is thinking that way.
Right.
But then you got to remember, everyone in Toronto is probably they're going to vote for their boy.
Sure.
Then you have.
That
number makes sense.
I'd like to think this is a secret ballot. You know what I mean? Like, be honest here. You're going to tell me Mitch Marner literally put down, I'll take Matthews over McDavid? Get out of here.
Sorry,
Come on.
I started with the M. I was going to do Matthews, and then, CD came right after.
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Crazy. Must have been on my mind.
I don't know. For me, I get a Crosby. That makes sense. A McKinnon, sure. I'll even give you the Kucherov. Again, in top 3 in scoring in the league. I get it. But a Matthews and a Bergeron? Come on now. Come on.
At Bergeron, I like.
I like Bergeron too, but, like, we're talking about, taking over a game.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
At number 3, they asked, who's the best defenseman in the NHL? This one surprised me a little bit, only because of the current situation that's going on in the NHL.
Who they picked as the best defenseman.
Best defenseman in the NHL right now.
See, my mind would... I personally think
Right.
that it should be Victor Hedman, but I'm curious who they picked.
Dude, I swear to God we're the same guy. They did take Makar, who I was laughing about because he hasn't had his greatest season. I mean, I'm not saying he's been hurt, this, that, and the other. 63.9%. So that's more than the McDavid. So what I'm saying to you is they love the Makar out there.
Yeah.
But this year he hasn't been, he's been hurt. He hasn't been as many points. Look at Carlson's just destroying all defensemen in scoring this year. It's not even close.
I like Hedman. I think Hedman's still the number 1 guy until he gets. I think Makar, though, is going to be definitely the number 1 guy.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is we got to wait till this guy hits 25. Like, I look at him as the Connor McDavid of defensemen.
Yes.
Like, he's our next Paul Coffey.
Yes, I would agree.
This is Cale Makar. He's still really young, but that's what's crazy about it.
He is fun to watch.
But when you get to the playoffs,
yeah,
and you ask me to pick one guy, I don't know if I'm picking anyone different than Hedman.
Buddy, I'm telling you right now.
Big, strong, score everywhere. Just no mistakes.
Being that I saw this survey before I said it to you, that's why I'm talking about the Tampa Bay a little bit today. You got Vasilevsky as the goalie. You got one of the top premier players in Kucherov, and I couldn't agree more. He's a two-time Stanley Cup champion, Victor Hedman, and I'm telling you, he's still a force to reckon with. So, I don't know, this Tampa Bay team, buddy. Tampa Bay! Next week we should make our predictions.
Hulk Hogan's from Tampa Bay.
He is. I think his daughter...
Tampa Bay... Are they the unstoppable force?
Are they the All-American team?
Are they the Hulkamaniac?
Best passer in the league.
Win the Stanley Cup. Best passer in the league? It has to be Crosby.
So, no, he wasn't even on the list. Leon Draisaitl at number 1, Patrick Kane number 2.
No way.
Yeah.
Well,
if you're Leon, you do get a lot of good passes into McDavid, who scores all the time. So you can't say no.
Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah. At number 5.
You know why it's Crosby? And you know what? Kane, I'll give it to him too.
Yeah.
Because Kane and Crosby will give it to anybody to shuffle in the net. There's a big difference.
There's a big difference. You're right.
That's what I'm saying.
This one was maybe my most favorite question. Most complete player. You know me. I love the whole thing. You're a little up front, a little up in the back helping out. Or maybe you're a defenseman, you're up front. Who's the most voted by NHL peers around the NHL? who did they vote as the most complete player?
For me, it's one or two. It's either Crosby or Bergeron.
Ding, ding, ding. Crosby at number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Barkov.
Okay.
Number 3, McKinnon, and then McDavid. I actually think that's in a perfect order. I really do.
I think Bergeron got no love there.
But see, here's the thing with Bergeron, okay? I love the Bergeron. I do. I think everyone that loves watching hockey loves a Bergeron. One problem with the Bergeron, just a little too small. He's just a little. Look at these guys. Crosby, he's pretty big. He's big in stature to some degree. Barkov's a machine.
Yeah,
McKinnon
I like that one.
McDavid.
That was a good one.
I think Crosby, I really do think is that guy. And you know what the other thing about Crosby? He cares. He so much cares. It doesn't matter if it's game 1, game 14, or game 72. The guy cares, and that's what it's all about. Yeah. He's still back-checking in game 17. Like, come on. Take a day off. He's got 3 Stanley Cups.
That's where, I'll be honest with you, that's where McKinnon, excuse me.
Yeah.
That's where McDavid, if he really wants to really get to where he's going, you got to play that way.
Absolutely.
You have to play that way.
Next question up by the NHL player poll is the most effective around the net. So which guy gets those dirty goals?
Oh, Tkachuk. It must have been him.
He's 3rd on the list.
Third?
Third on the
No.
list. At number 1, and when I say it, you'll be like, yep, it is. It's Joe Pavelski. He is he's the master of the deflection, man. This guy, you can't stop that guy.
Yeah, I guess, but still, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Pavelski, buddy, I like that call. And then number 2, Chris Kreider from the last year, 50-plus goals in the NHL with the Rangers. These are the guys, Dimitri, that actually are going to change the game a little bit because power play, they're right in front. They're grimy. They're getting those. We call them crappy goals, but hey, man, they all count. So
they're the workman's goals.
They're the workman's goals. But to your point, Tkachuk right now is on his way to being probably very soon the most complete player and the most effective around the net.
And the other thing too is I get it.
Right.
But even this year, look at the last 2 years for him. He hangs out by the he's dirty.
Yeah.
And he's got the points to prove it now. I think he's gonna break 100 this year.
Oh, you know what's sad? I saw the stats the other day. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, right? Let's
Mitch.
quick.
Real quick.
You know we're gonna talk about it.
What time is it? We got time.
We got time. So you got the John Gaudreau, who worst team in the league by far. He's just under a point a game now. He's not even getting that. Got his money, kind of, not as much as he could have got if he stayed somewhere. But they're gonna get Bedard. They're gonna get Bedard. You just know it. It's gonna happen. And then you got Tkachuk, who everyone's like, man, did we fleece him for Huberdeau and Uyghur and whoever else we sent over? No, it's now confirmed. We're the ones that got fleeced. That guy's going to get over 100 points again, finish in top 5 in scoring in the NHL, and maybe even get his team into the playoffs. Sorry, guys. The truth hurts. It bothers me too. But the guy's actually better than we all thought. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
He went to a good team as well.
He did. But they are not. Last year they were the number 1 team.
Can I point something?
Yeah.
Can I point something out?
Sure.
It's interesting. We got rid of Tkachuk, and he's about to break 100 points again.
Yeah.
And they got a guy named Sam Bennett over there that we had once.
Yeah.
They got a guy named Tkachuk that we had once.
Interesting.
And they might make the playoffs.
Well, let's just say this, and we'll get to it in a few minutes. It's a constant battle. Pittsburgh, the Islanders, and Florida are all 1 point or 2 points. Like they flip flop every night.
At least Florida is competing for the spot with a legitimate chance.
Like legit. Like
sorry.
We'll talk to that. Hold on for a minute. Hold on.
I'm just like pushing your buttons.
Yeah, we're gonna get to it.
Did I tell you my wife's in Tennessee this weekend?
Yeah. You know what? We gotta talk about
Nashville's the capital of that. Did you know that?
I did know.
Nashville.
You
want to talk about anything? Okay, get to your points.
Players that you hate playing against but wish they were on your team.
Marchand,
100%, and Tkachuk, and Tom Wilson.
Okay. Wilson,
I like the Tom Wilson.
I like that.
That's a good one. But yeah, the Tkachuk, and I think I made a joke once to get all 3 of those guys on the same team.
That'd be unreal.
That would be the greatest ensemble of a line I've ever seen in my life.
Great use of the word ensemble.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Most underrated player. This is a good one too.
Most underrated player.
I actually saw this guy score last night, and I mean I've seen him score a lot this year. he's fun to watch. Beautiful goal, by the way.
Most underrated player. I don't know, Mitch. I don't even know where to.
You brought his name up once on this podcast. It's Tage Thompson.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yesterday, he had a partial breakaway. He separates himself, leans into the defenseman so he can't do anything, and just puts up a beautiful top corner goal. Just beautiful. This kid, man, at 6'6", I believe he is.
Yeah, dude.
Power forward, true power forward. This guy, man, he keeps going. No one's going to stop this guy.
It's crazy to see how silky he is.
Yeah.
Says Mario Lemieux-like.
You know what? Hey, let's not. I mean, it's a little early to compare.
No, I'm not.
Lemieux.
But I'm just saying, Lemieux was probably the first, the OG, big, tall power forward that was silky smooth.
Silky smooth.
I
like it.
Malkin's another guy that's power forward, silky smooth.
He is actually.
Maybe he's the.
He might be.
He's the. Come on, stop it.
They also asked the players who has the best ice in the NHL. For years, I thought it was one team. It is a Canadian team, by the way. Actually, the top 3 are all Canadian teams. Wow. Big surprise. We know how to make ice here in Canada.
Wow. I don't know. Is Edmonton 1?
They were 3rd, actually.
3rd. Winnipeg?
Winnipeg.
Number 1?
No, Winnipeg number 2. Sorry.
So I'm scaling up here.
Yeah, you're scaling up.
And then I got to say it's tell me it's Vancouver?
Montreal.
I was going to... Yeah. That was the easy one. I was trending in something.
I always heard Edmonton had the best
That's
ice.
what I thought.
That's what I thought too. No. Okay, here's my favorite question. The last 2 are my favorite, actually. I thought I liked the other ones. Best city to be in while you're traveling. I think we all know the answer, but it's now solidified by the NHL players.
Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas by a lot, by the way. 31.7%.
Really?
But here's the thing. Being that everybody loves going to Vegas, right?
Yeah.
And the playoffs are around the corner.
Yeah.
It's got to suck because you got to be, and especially they're going to be a first seed. So you're going to be there for at most maybe 4, if should it go to a 7-game series.
What's number 2?
New York.
I was going to say, because New York actually for me would be my ballad.
Right. And number 3, Nashville.
Yeah.
You said your wife's in Nashville?
Yeah.
And a lot of NHL players like going there?
But Johnson City, actually.
How far is that?
It's 4 hours. She's with her family. So she says. But she's not picking up her phone. There's a lot of dinner.
Everything's fine.
Actually, come to think of
everything is fine.
My sister-in-law and them are here.
Ooh.
I got to go.
Okay, last one. Best player in the locker room. Best player in the locker room.
Me.
Yeah. You know what? We are locker room guys, are we not? I'm a bench guy. You're a locker room guy. The best locker room guy, believe it or not, is Marc-Andre Fleury, they say, and Phil Kessels.
Yeah, you know what? I would get... Being a Penguins fan, that doesn't surprise me.
Like, these guys, they just had to keep these guys together. Yeah. And there's your cup right there. Marc-Andre, I totally see it. He looks like kind of a fun prankster guy. And Kessels, who's bringing the chips? This guy. And the Coke? This guy. Phil Kessels. Iron Man and best guy in the locker room. Maybe the best player that ever played this game. Maybe.
Phil Kessel might be the best player to ever play the game.
All round. Here it is. All round.
Wow.
Yeah. From there, we go to our power play list. It's you know what? It's done great this year, this power play.
It's really done.
From top to bottom, we've hit it.
The curve is working.
The curve is working.
They say 1 out of every 3 lists are curved.
Are they?
Yes.
I would say maybe.
I
would love somebody to tell us for sure if that's true.
Some bell curve left, some bell curve right.
All right, here we go. It's the Sports Show Power Play list at number 5. Man, we haven't given this team a lot of love. Like we've said they're good. We like them. But, man, as the playoffs are coming closer and closer, and I saw their point status yesterday, I think this might be the team in the West. It's the Dallas Stars.
What do you have them at?
I have them at number 5 just for this week. But I haven't really put them in the list because they're just always good, but they're nothing great. They're nothing spectacular. They have 92 points, but they're nasty. They're tough.
I'm surprised they're not a bit higher.
I just put them on the list this week.
I'm not. You know what? I said I'd be done trashing your list. It's okay. A good list.
It's a good list.
It's
at number 4.
List.
It's a 3-way tie. It's Florida, Pittsburgh, and the Islanders because each day I can't pick who's going to be here.
Fair
because
point.
They keep moving around.
Fair point.
2 wild cards, 2 points back of each other. So
it's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. Yeah. It's going to go right to the end. At number 3, this team is just collecting points. A little beep here, a little overtime here, beep, a little win here, beep. It's the Edmonton Oilers.
Love what they're doing.
They're looking good.
Yeah.
And they're all catching heat, man. Like Evander Kane the other night had a hat trick. You know, like he had that nasty injury with that slice on his arm.
Yeah.
He's coming back. You got that Hyman guy. He's got 30-plus goals. You got the Nuge beating guys up and 30 goals. Like,
can we talk to McDavid with 60 goals?
Buddy, this is what I'm talking about.
138 points. I said that's what I saw the other day.
What is going on over here?
It's crazy.
What's he got to prove?
It's crazy.
Oh, wait a minute. You still need a cup, don't you?
Don't you? Yeah,
you can't be that guy. You can't be that guy.
You like that.
I'm just saying.
Huh? McDavid?
At number 2, it's the team that no one loves to travel. They love to travel there, but they hate traveling there because it just hurts all the way around. You're going to lose the game, then lose your visa. It's the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah. They come into Calgary the other day, and I was watching them play. You know what? They are a good – I called them out this year saying they weren't going to be that great. No, they got it all. And now with the Jonathan Quick thing, man, I don't know if you saw, they were playing the Flames. Their goalie got hurt at the last minute, literally last minute of the game. Calgary's pressing, the score's 2-1. And Jonathan Quick, as cold as a cucumber, comes onto the ice and made a huge one save. He made one save, and it was a huge save to win the game. That's what it's about.
That's what I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
This guy's 2-time Cup champion.
2-time.
That's what I mean, Mitch.
Yeah, I agree. And at number 1, it's a team that they're on their way. 71 games played, 55 wins, 62 is the number. They're on their way. It's the Boston Bruins.
That's crazy.
They're too good. They're too good.
Yeah.
Okay, shorthanded list. I put 3 teams on there. Yeah, and it's those 3 teams. It's Winnipeg, it's Nashville, and it's Calgary.
Yeah.
Dimitri, let's talk about this right now.
Yeah.
You know what bothers me about these 3 teams? You got Nashville. This is where Nashville has the advantage. They have 2 game extra to play versus these guys because there was a flood in their arena a couple months ago.
Right.
Who knew that was going to play into their play, right?
What a shock.
But Nashville right now has to take advantage of it. Winnipeg, you have no excuse right now.
Yeah.
Winnipeg, you guys were literally battling with Dallas at the beginning in the Central for like the entire year, and then something happened. I don't know what happened. You guys are now, and every time, now granted you got 4 points on the Flames and on Nashville respectively. Long story short, none of you have the killer instinct. So I don't really care which of these teams go.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think none of you are going to go that far.
I just hope it's Winnipeg because out of all 3 of those teams, at least Winnipeg, if they get in, could put up a fight because they are a pretty solid team.
Yeah.
You know, they're like they're our version of Minnesota up in Canada. You know, they have a solid base and they should be. There's no reason for them not to make the playoffs, given where they were, how far ahead they like. Sorry, you guys.
Yeah,
I don't want to see Calgary, and it's a waste of time. You guys clearly don't want to be there.
They don't exactly.
Right, Nashville. Exactly. Shame on both of you, Calgary and Winnipeg. Nashville, they were sellers. And here they're like, yeah, we're just coming to the rink. Like, oh, we're winning. This is weird. It's almost like getting dividend checks from your grandma. Be like, what? I was in the will?
Exactly.
Well, what do I do now?
And remember, they're battling for the final spot, not the final 2 spots, right? Because Seattle, the expansion Seattle Kraken, have got that 7th seed all sewed up. They're fine. The Kraken. They're going to take on probably Las Vegas. So the winner, whoever wins, will be basically taking on, it looks like Dallas, probably, right?
Yeah.
So the reality is would we like to see a Calgary-Dallas from last year? No, because Dallas will actually kill us this time. Where we were supposed to kill them last year, they'll actually do what they were supposed to do.
Calgary fan, let me give you a little bit of a pro tip here.
Yeah.
Anytime you're looking at the standings and you're doing math in your head just to find out the actual calculation of whether you can get in the playoffs or not, move on. If you're spending more time on this than you did your diploma exam, move on. They're out. They're out, Jerry!
They're out. They're gone.
Jerry!
Last bit of news I wanted to talk about was the QMJHL. That's the Quebec Major Hockey League. Quebec. And they just pulled off the rule. It's going to start next year. You fight, game misconduct, and you're gone. Do you like the new rule that's being implemented? Bottom line, you get in the fight in the Quebec League, you're gone. Done. They are banning fighting in essentially the whole time.
So it's a 1-game misconduct?
So you get into a fight. Me and you get into a fight. We're both playing Quebec.
I win,
okay.
Obviously.
Sure. You win, but we're both kicked out of the game.
Okay.
And I believe we're also gone for the next game. Yeah, I think it's a one game suspension automatically.
I don't necessarily disagree with it. on one end. I like the fight. Here's why. I like the fighting in the NHL.
Yeah.
I understand the fighting in the juniors and whatnot. I just, because the construction of the teams in like the AHL, the QJMHL, and different WHL,
yeah.
Sometimes like they still bring in those enforcer types,
right?
And if they're just eating minutes from someone who legitimately might be able to make the NHL, at that point, I'm not overly against it. And that's the thing. It comes with a cost, right? So it's to say, you know what, if you're going to drop the gloves and you're going to go, just make sure. The thing is so this is why I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Try it out. Mm-hmm. See what happens.
Right.
But if all it's going to do is create more chippy penalties,
right,
then it's not the right call.
I'm on the fence. If you guys remember, a couple of years ago, I was against fighting. I thought, to exactly your points, like some really good player is not getting minutes because they have some enforcer out there, right? But here's the thing. Since fighting is still a thing, not that it's like what it used to be where two guys will just, square off and go at it. If these guys in the Quebec League are not learning how to take care of themselves or police themselves, and let's say they're good enough and they make it to the NHL, dude, they're going to get rocked. Yeah, they're going to get destroyed. You know what I mean? Like if I'm in the NHL and I was in the WHL and I know that guy was in the Quebec League, I know what I'm going to do to him all night. Meaning I'm going to just piss him off. I'm going to hit him with my stick, do everything, because he hasn't learned how to come at me. He won't know how to do it. Yeah, I'm waiting for him.
That's the problem. You're right. You're very right with that point, and that's what sways me in one conversation to be like, yeah, I changed my mind all of a sudden. See, I don't like, it's like in the minor league, the younger leagues,
right?
Whatever the different ways they call them across Canada, whether it's Timbits or still if they do Pee Wee, whatever. If you don't learn how to hit,
right,
when you're 10, 12 years old,
that's right,
and then you go through puberty, you're getting annihilated,
right?
I mean, that's where kids get even more hurt. Where someone has a growth spurt, they're now 5'8", they're 13 years old, and they're trying to pin a kid on the boards who's 5'2", 20 pounds lighter.
Right.
They don't know their own strength. They go to pin him in the boards. It's a check from behind. You have maybe a serious neck injury.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so that's a thing too. So yes, I agree with you. This one's hard. It just, at the same time, I think what I like is if you're gonna fight and drop the gloves, then make it count. Because the thing that I don't like in the NHL, I'll tell you, is that there's a fight after every clean hit.
I think that's garbage too, but that's, if I've learned anything doing this podcast and listening to others and watching the thing, I think it's dumb.
But then don't hit. Right?
No, it's not that. You know what it is? It's dumb, but it's like one of those rules that has to like literally kind of die off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe this is part of it. Like this Quebec thing will soon be where, a clean hit. Well, I'm not going to do anything about it because I don't know how to fight anyways. It's just something that's got to die off. There's still a lot of tradition laced in hockey, man. There's still a lot where, my boy got laid out. I got to go fight him. I think it's dumb too, but it's almost like if you don't do it, then you're called upon as a bad teammate. So it's like, what are you going to do? You got to do what you got to do.
The thing with fighting, though, this is what I like about, and this is, again, it's going to come and contradict a lot of what Eddie just said before. The thing with fighting is that it does, in my opinion, regulate.
It does regulate.
Right? 100%.
Yeah.
So that's why I said it. I don't like, if this rule would ever come in the NHL, please, God, no. Like, just don't get rid of fighting. Just leave it. Like, why do we have to touch certain things?
Exactly.
In the juniors, though, it's a different, it is a very different league.
Right.
And so, try it out.
I think the NHL has already got, is in a weird way, it's like silently stopped fighting. Like, I'm not saying there aren't fighters. Like, you got your Lucic, you got your Reeves that still have their positions, and they're mostly fighters, even though Lucic had a nice goal the other night.
Yeah.
The point is, those guys are there, but they're slow. They're like the dinosaur. They're going to be gone. They're going to be phased out. But what I don't want to see is I do still want to see fighting in hockey, but naturally. So again, two guys like our size or whatever, just two guys in the fourth liners. They're not known to be fighters, but they're jostling. Boom, they drop the gloves and go at it. Yeah. I don't know if you saw the other night that Hoffman got that cross check. He took it right, and then he went to Instagram and he goes, that guy got a 1-game suspension and his jaw is gone. Yeah. Like he's got no jaw. Okay,
Yeah.
he's actually now been casted for that new show, the zombie movies. Like his jaw is gone. Okay,
Wow.
So but the thing is, that player now 1 game suspension. I'm hoping somebody goes after him because what he did was full cheap. That was a full cheap shot.
It was a full cheap movie.
You know, that's where you need it.
You're right.
Right?
You're
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
you're right.
little
Yeah,
things like that.
I
Hey.
agree.
Last thing before we're done with hockey, well, one little tidbit that came up. I wanted to talk about it last week, but we didn't get a chance to because we had the CJSW live show, unlive show. Golf balls. I don't know if you've heard this. In 2025, the PGA bigwigs, you want to call them, they have decided and are pushing to have one standardized ball for everyone to play with. Kind of like the puck, right? You drop the puck, you're all using the puck. Well, the golf community has gone sideways. Now, I play golf. I mean, in fact, I buy those balls that are in those bins for $1 or whatever. Apparently, the ball is a big deal. Forget about the 1-iron. Forget about the driver. Apparently, the ball is where these guys are willing to put their foot down and say no. What are your thoughts on a standardized ball for the PGA?
This is a really tough one, Mitch.
Yeah.
This is a good question because on the one end, I would say, yeah, they should do a standardized ball. There's a standardized ball for basketball, for football,
True.
for hockey,
Yeah.
for baseball,
point.
blah, blah, blah. But then the other side is, okay, well, then do you tackle the clubs next? Because if you're going to standardize the ball, then do you have to standardize the club?
Right.
And
No,
if
I
you're
think
going to
that-
allow players
yeah.
to have different clubs from different, and so here's what I think. I think
Sure.
the ball,
Yeah.
I'm on the side that the ball should be standardized.
Really?
I am because I look at hockey.
Mhm.
Everyone can have their own different type of stick, different
Exactly.
flex,
Yeah.
different this, different that,
Shoulder pads, all
shoulder
that.
pads, all-
Helmets, yeah.
right? The apparatus. There has to be a certain constant.
Mhm.
I believe. Now maybe, and I'm open for it because I'm not the best golfer either, right? So
What?
for me, the club and the ball, it doesn't change my game around. Like, actually, can I touch on this? I
Sure.
have a fundamental problem. I'm talking to you, wannabe golfer, which makes up 99% of you.
All of you.
If you go and buy a $500 driver,
Right.
it does nothing if you suck.
That's a good point.
Okay?
That's a really
It
good point.
doesn't do anything.
But
It's
wait
like-
a minute, Dimitri.
What?
Sorry to stop your rant. But when I used to buy the pumps or Nike or Air Jordans, I could have swore I jumped a little bit
Yeah,
higher.
sucked. It's like someone buying a $400 Easton. You suck. The stick's not the problem. You're the problem. You just happen to have money.
That's it.
It's like one guy we know.
That's your problem. You have
there's
money.
There's one guy we know. He's got a $500 Garmin wristwatch. He's fat. It's not nothing for the guy.
Yeah, but he knows.
It's not the
But wait,
watch.
you know what? Maybe he's bigger. Maybe. But the point is the watch
No.
is telling him. He's like, yeah, dude, you're.
Well, he's clearly not looking. You know.
I
So,
don't know. You know what? I agree. I agree with the stick.
Mitch, am I
agree with
wrong?
No, you're right.
Am I wrong on the watch guy?
Right.
You know who watch guy is.
I think I know who watch guy is. But I do agree with you on the. I don't agree with the ball though. Here, I'm gonna tell you this because.
Maybe I'm missing
No,
something.
Sorry, this is what I'll say. I do believe that having a standardized ball should not be that big a deal. But when all these PGA players are coming out and being really pissed off about it, it does show me one thing, that science and or the technology is actually a bigger part of their game than they want people to see. It must be.
Oh, I see.
Do you see what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
And that's where I'm that's why I do want to see at least one event where they're all using the same ball. I would love to see that because a lot of people, there's a golfer, I can't remember his name. He was telling a sportscaster, I was listening to this podcast, and he says, you can change my clubs all you want, but never change my ball. So what does that show me is that it could be a mental thing, could be the placebo effect for all we know. Rumor also has it that Tiger Woods had a Bridgestone ball, I believe he had before, or something like that, Bridgefire, maybe
Sure,
is the
maybe.
name. I can't remember the brand. Then he goes on with Nike. That ball was still a Bridgefire, Bridgestone, whatever it was, but they basically cleaned it all up and put the swipe on it. That's what the rumor is, and that's what it is. And if that was Tiger Woods doing that, that means something.
Speaking
It's
of
a big
Nike,
deal.
Nike is so lucky.
Yeah.
One of the greatest putts,
Yes.
sports moments
Oh.
in history
Isn't
at the
that good? Yeah,
Masters.
yes.
And the ball just conveniently
Beautifully.
just goes Nike.
Yeah, man. Literally. And think about this.
Oh, man.
I know they went out and got these guys, but you had Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods. That's like, I don't even know what to tell you.
Just stop.
Should we sign these two? Like, whoever signed those two guys, give them a raise. That's a good connection.
Maybe again, I just don't know how important the golf ball is.
Apparently, it's huge. That's all I'm
I
saying.
get that but here's, but then there's the other side as well. Is that if you have, to each their own, and I think at the PGA level, right, the ball is also there to help enhance their personal game. So one argument could be said. What does it matter if you change the ball right now if it's tailored to the way that a person plays? Because they're all hitting, they're really all hitting within each other. So I guess, if I'm thinking, okay, on a par 4,
right,
if you have a ball that travels longer than mine by spec, but we still make birdie, did it matter?
I listen. I couldn't agree more.
But then again, right? So I get it. But then here's the other side. If you're using a ball that's just, let's say, the standard ball, and you drive 350, and I have to use a ball that someone like me personally should be using to help me get distance.
Sure.
At that point, it's like, hey, this is where I side with the standardized ball.
Right.
Like, hey, you should maybe go fix your swing, fix that part of your game. If you can't drive 350, you shouldn't. Is that almost like a performance-enhancing drug in the ball world?
I think that the ball is the PD,
right? To say, well, hold on, you can't drive 50 yards more. You're using, is the ball corking the bat?
There's the name of the pod.
Amy, sound clip that now. Is the ball corking the bat?
There it is. That's it.
That's
it. Done. Yeah. That's it. Finished. You know what? Here's live golf. Here's an opportunity for live golf. Hey, guys, you guys can use any ball you want.
Yeah.
Whatever. There's like a full black market
Hey, you
for
can
balls.
use these ones too. Whoa!
Hey, you got a couple of Nikes over there.
Oh, jeez.
All right, we're off to rapid banter.
We just can't help ourselves.
We can.
There's a lady at work.
It's right there.
There's a lady at work. She goes, "You're doing Mark Wahlberg again." Like, you should just get it.
Your Mark Wahlberg is top notch. I would like you to do more Mark Wahlberg.
All right, let's go to rapid banter, Mitch. How you doing?
The World Baseball Championships finished the other day. Japan beat the USA for the championship. Fine, Japan is number 1. But is Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani the best player in baseball right now?
You mean Trout Sushi?
Oh, boy. In 3 decades of golf, Tiger Woods has 3 Hall of Fame careers. From 96 to 2000, he has 27 wins in 5 majors. From 2001 to 2005, he had 26 wins, 5 majors. 2006 to 2013, 40 wins in 5 majors. Which of the 3 decades was his best?
The 2000s.
Dude, this is so crazy. This is like, sometimes you have to sit back and just look at what he did.
That's hard. I digress. Maybe it was the first stint because, no, you know what? It was the 2000s for me.
You know what? This is actually wrong. He had 4 Hall of Fame careers. These 3 and then the Perkins. The Perkins has put him in the Hall of Fame.
That's amazing.
No one can hit that slapjack pancake dinner like that. Taylor Swift played over 40 songs at her first concert Eras tour in Arizona. Too many songs or only 40?
Yeah, it's too many.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of songs.
Like, I know I paid him, thank you, but wow, I got to get home too,
Oof. We at church?
40 songs. Okay, guys, it's going to be a long one. I decided I want to play every song I've ever written. The character from The Sopranos, Furio, recently made a purchase of an art piece for $65,000. Turns out that piece is actually worth $10 million. Big deal, or it's a fugazi.
He must be furious.
They say that if you blend pineapple and cucumber together, it'll create a detoxifying juice. What's the catch?
Come on, it still tastes like shit.
I actually was thinking about it. I want to taste it. It sounds not bad.
Do you?
No, actually, now that you mention it, no, I don't, actually. I take it back. Andrew Wiggins, point guard, NBA champion for Golden State Warriors and fellow Canadian, has a best friend and also has a girlfriend who have been lovers behind his back for 10 plus years. Do you ditch both ASAP or it's 2023, man? Get with it.
Join the party.
I heard it's in Nashville. Oh, weird. He got traded to the Memphis Grizzlies. That's interesting. A pastor in Africa helps relieve all sins by farting in your face. Best idea ever, or this guy's the greatest salesperson of all time.
That would make every man a priest.
Last one. Husband and wife did the unthinkable. Back-to-back hole-in-ones. Do they both have to buy drinks at the clubhouse? Or, no, it's one household.
They must have visited Regina. Experienced Regina.
Well, that takes us right into MAGA or MALAKA.
Ooh,
Here we go.
What do you got, Mitch?
So earlier we talked about experience Regina. The best slogan of all time. Some people have a problem with it. I can't figure it out. So I perused the nets a little further and I said, hey.
You got slogans?
I got names of cities that I don't know their slogans, but here are actual names of cities around the world.
Okay.
MAGA or MALAKA. Ready?
Okay.
Here we
like
go.
that. Okay.
First one. Hell, Michigan. MAGA or MALAKA?
Ooh, Malaka. I don't want to live in hell.
Can you imagine you're away from hell? What? Yeah, Hell, Michigan. I'm from Hell, Michigan. Which is weird because it's really cold there, too.
Yeah.
It freezes over in hell.
Who named it? It's not. It's heel. It's Dutch.
Here's one for you. Go, Madagascar. That's the actual name of the city.
I don't know. Is that the name of the city or just working for my dad?
Go.
There, come on. The pizza.
So you want me to go or what? I'm lost.
MAGA.
Here's one. If you're from Scotland, you know what I'm talking about. It's Lost Scotland. Where are you from? Lost. Well, where'd you come from? Lost.
I got to say Malaka. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Here's one, and it kind of suits it. I don't know who did this. This one's kind of mean. I just, only because I've met a few people from here.
Oh.
And I think it's funny. If you're from Denmark, you might be from Boring, Denmark.
Yeah, that's Malaka. That's Malaka. Just say you're from Denmark.
Yeah, just say, never tell them you're from Boring.
Just a village outside Oslo. That's it. You don't just.
Where are you from? I'm from.
Or that's
cool.
Norway. Sorry.
I'm from cool Denmark.
Yeah.
I'm from Boring, Denmark.
Boring. Yeah.
Here's one, and I guarantee you it was a Greek dad that came up with this name. If you're from Auckland Island in New Zealand, Disappointment Island is an actual island. This island, very disappointing.
MAGA. That's MAGA for sure.
It's just an island of Greek people just mad all day long. That's it.
I like it.
It's very disappointing.
Very disappointing.
Very disappointing. Here's one. If you're from England, you might be from Beer, England.
MAGA.
Yeah, not bad, right?
That's a fun place.
There you go. Beer, England.
I like that.
Like, who's coming up with these, right? Well, if you might be from, hey, Tennessee's on the list. Yum, Tennessee.
Tamara, if you're there, I swear to God, I'm coming right now.
Yum, Tennessee. That's a good one. Well, here's one. Why not North Carolina? Why not? Why not?
MAGA.
Why not? Why not? Where you from?
See,
why
that
not?
even took me a second.
Yeah, why not?
Love it.
Yeah. South Carolina George hates why not.
Really?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not hate it? Yeah, exactly. 2 more. 3 more, maybe. Okay. In Greece, there's drama. Drama Greece.
That's all of Greece.
That's all of Greece is right.
Drama is all of Greece. Yeah. MAGA.
All right. And if you're from Italy, you might be from Bastardo. Bastardo, Italy.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
okay.
a bastard.
Hey, a bastardo. Yeah, you know what? MAGA.
MAGA there too.
Yeah, exactly. It is what it is.
It is. Hey. Somebody had to name it for a reason.
Hey, Jon Snow was a bastardo.
He was a bastardo.
He did pretty well.
He did okay. He never bent the knee, though.
He never bent the knee.
He never did.
But he did kill the Night King.
And he did come back from the dead.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry.
Last one. I can't believe they have this and we don't. I said drama has Greece. Batman is in Turkey. The city of Batman is in Turkey. MAGA or MALAKA.
I just have to say Malaka. That's it.
Malaka.
I can't give praise there,
Can't
Mitch.
do it. Can't do it.
Not on Greek Independence Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Not on March 25th, 1821.
You love it. Last one. Here we go. If you're from Surrey, England, I hope you're from Christmas Pie. Christmas Pie, Surrey, England.
Oh, yeah.
We love the pie. Surrey, England.
Love me the Christmas pie. And on Easter and on Thanksgiving, on the weekends, on the weekdays, on Spotify, on iTunes, on Podbean, on the Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast, episode 252. One for the books. But we got to shove it in the locker because we do got to hit the showers. This, my friend, maybe best MAGA Malaka.
Hey, it was, I love my name games. I love the name games. And soon, very soon, Volume 4 is coming out.
What?
We got to replenish the list.
We got to replenish the list.
You'd be surprised. These kids aren't as, let's say, using their using the thesauruses and the dictionaries as much as they used to. They're going right in there with these names sometimes, you know?
Crazy.
Yeah. So there it is. Experience Regina, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Do it up.
You know what? It's Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
It's just no joke. There's just so much potential that can be done there. It's like in the middle of Canada.
Yeah.
And if someone just did a couple big things over there, why not?
Yeah, clean up Regina and get it better. I mean, it's clean. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, you guys. What's wrong? What?
just maybe, just go a little more often. You know, maybe.
You know what I love?
It's one of those things.
I love how you're like, I'm not telling you what the opener is. I'm just gonna cue it up for you. You'll get it, and I know you're gonna go with it, and it'll be fine. And you were right.
I know I was right. What do you think? 252 of these things? I don't know you. I know you better than your own mother knows you. All right, have a great week, everybody. Okay. We got to go do the Greek show. The Greek show is going to be fun today.
The Greek show is going to be good.
Get on Hellenic. If you're on Spotify, get on what? Hellenic Melodies?
Hellenic Melodies. Yeah. God, we got to change that name.
Oh,
dude, we're not.
We're not ours, by the way.
We're not melody people.
Yeah, we're not melodies.
You know what? Today we're going to ask if we're going to send an email to Adam.
Are we going to send one?
Let's just change it to the Greek.
Let's change it to the Greek Power Hour.
Just Greek.
Okay.
No.
MAGA Malaka next week on names for the Hellenic radio change.
We should do it on Hellenic Melodies as well.
That's a good idea.
And just if we get,
I got to come up with them.
Let's get the name change.
Right.
Propose it. See if they want to do it. Then we're going to go up. And, because we're not Hellenic Melody people. Like when people ask me, "Did you do the radio show?" I'd be like, "Yeah, we do Hellenic Melodies." Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we going to knit sweaters after?
Well,
not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, that's fine.
I have someone that I work with.
Yeah.
She knits sweaters. It's a great sweater.
It's a nice sweater.
It's an unreal
Does she
sweater.
make it for everyone in the team?
That's a tall task. I don't.
Yeah, it's big.
She would.
She would.
A special request. I think if I asked and I said, "Hey,
can you make me a sweater?
Can you make me a sweater?" She'd make me a sweater. She'd probably do it.
Ask her if she'll make me a sweater. That'd be nice.
I'll
pay for the yarn.
You know what? I'll let you go first. You'll pay for the yarn.
The yarn, of course. That's half the thing.
Covering costs.
Well,
have you seen yarn costs?
I know labor would cost a lot
more. You know what?
Stop. We're stopping.
Not in Sweatshop Philippines. Another name for MAGA.
You don't know me when it drop, then I'm mostly what they bopping. You can say what you got when it's Tuesday, I be locked in.
DJSW, we're Saved by the Bell by the Sports Show, playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast.